Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to your daily divine messages from Spirit. It is the weekend, almost the end. Happy Sunday and happy February. It is our full moon, final full moon in Leo. And this is the final full moon of the year of the snake. So, welcome on everyone, and welcome to February. We are going to be completing these last couple weeks. These next couple weeks are going to be the last weeks of this year of the snake, of the shedding. So, if you feel like January was full of triggers to the point where the word trigger triggers you, you're not alone and you're not wrong. If you have been experiencing extreme symptoms of ascension, like physical, just your body shifting and having extreme, and I'm not saying don't go to a doctor just because you have an ascension symptoms. You might be having such extreme ascension symptoms that it leads you directly to the doctors. That was me. I don't like to talk about my wounds too often in the public eye. I don't like to share my moments of weakness. But what Spirit is saying right now with this full moon in Leo, of sovereignty, of royalty, is also about pride and letting go, releasing the pride around our weaknesses, around our... And my meditation turns off as soon as I say that, because Spirit says, shh, all right, she about to speak, somebody listen. We need to, this is the full moon of release. Full moons mean closures, ending cycles. So what are we ending for the last time during this full moon today? What are we releasing for the last time in our sovereignty? Our pride is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing the song that we always sing during our full moon ritual, release ritual, burning ritual that my son and I like to do, where we write our intentions of the things that we want to release that are no longer serving our greatest and highest and healthiest being and self. And we write those on a list under the full moon. And then we burn that list and let it transmute into the ethers. And we play this song, our favorite song, and it's called No Survivors. And the lyric says, I gotta let go. If I want to live, there's some things that need to die. My ego, my pride, my grip on my life. Throw it all into the fire and leave no survivors. And that's what this final full moon in Leo, the fiery fixed Leo, ruled by the sun, nothing but a planet of fire, to ignite, to enlighten, and to shine truth on areas that maybe we have been feeling maybe afraid or ashamed, right? That ego, that pride, to admit. We also have a really powerful Aquarius stellium that we're in. And I promise you, I got cards sitting over here from my Friday daily divine weekend check-in that I shuffled live on my YouTube. If you want to check that out, Princess Leah 888. But the biggest thing that Spirit is saying for this full moon and this Aquarius stellium We have 5 planets in Aquarius right now. The Sun, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Pluto. In Aquarius. And Aquarius is that individual humanitarian, which means there is a need for surrender during this full moon. We release, we let go, we close out for the last time. We surrender all of those doubts, fears, shame, guilt, past traumas, past wounds, past angers, past frustrations, everything that made you small, quiet, afraid. This Leo full moon is saying, throw it all into the fire, burn it, and leave no survivors. Surrender. Surrender. We are surrendering because we are merging with the divine. We are merging as our whole feminine and masculine self. We are bringing our highest, spiritually highest self into our physical self, into our physical being, into this physical earth plane, which means we have to surrender to all that is not in alignment with our highest self, right? With our healthiest self. If we want to survive in a new, higher timeline, if we want to transform our life, Don Miguel Ruiz says in the 4 Agreements to not take anything personally, the 2nd agreement. That's how you transform your life. And it's so hard to not take things personally, especially when you have everything what feels like around you burning, or bullshit all up in your face. Or if you feel like from the past things have just been nothing but BS. How do you not take it personally? How do you transform your life in the midst of hell? Is what I'm hearing, the question. And it's passionate because this full moon, this fixed Leo of fire, is nothing but passion, pride, royalty, leadership. Well, hello, welcome on Maori Metabolic Miracles. Thank you for joining and thank you for sharing. We thrive by allowing all that does not serve to be gone. That's right. Tink tink, later's density. We thrive. I like that. I like that. Loyalty is royalty. Okay, I hear you. That's right. And we are tapping into, we are reclaiming our crown chakra. We are reclaiming our unlimited self. We are reclaiming our royal self, our sovereign self. Some of you might have Chiron in Leo. I personally have a Chiron in Leo, and I know some beloved that do. Chiron is the wounded healer. And right now the collective has been, the Chiron for the collective has been in Aries since 2018, and I believe it's in retrograde right now. So Aries, speaking of the sovereign self, the personal body, with a Chiron, a wounded healer in Aries for the collective right now. And if you have a Chiron in Leo, that means we are dealing with some literally shedding of the identity of who we have attached and believed ourselves to be, who we have become based on our external circumstances or what other people have told us to be. We are now releasing and awakening and recognizing that some of it is not what we agree with. Maui Metabolic Miracles, you have a Chiron in Taurus. Taurus ruled by Venus, the planet of love and abundance and beauty, the divine feminine, That wounded healer in you means you have been wounded in the space of beauty and abundance, your money, your love, how you love, and Taurus is also an earth, fixed earth. I'm a Taurus moon, so shout outs to the Taurian bull gang. You like quality. You need quality in order to thrive. In order not to survive, you need quality to thrive. You need things to be stable, firm, rooted, unshakable. You need things that will last. You will pay more for longer lasting quality things, relationships, people. You would rather have less and it be better quality than have more pieces of shit. Okay, it's not about quantity for a Taurus. All right, so a Chiron in Taurus is very much like a Chiron in Leo, meaning you will not settle for less because you have been wounded in the areas that taught you to believe that your desires of better and for more was ridiculous. You were wounded in areas, and I'm even hearing perhaps that could mean like, you know, poverty. Maybe there have been financial losses and generational poverty is what I'm hearing. With the sovereign Leo, with the Chiron in Aries for the collective as the individual, with the Chiron in Taurus, there is wounding that is being healed right now, collective, around trusting in you, learning to stand in you without shame or guilt or fear, learning to raise your frequency, raise your quality so that your life can match the abundance that is your birthright. That's what's healing right now. That is what the collective, with that Chiron in Aries, but with this full moon in Leo, is teaching us too. So let me get a sip of my mango ginger yerba mate, and let's just tap into our our higher self, our unlimited self, because we are fixing our crown. Okay? I know that's right. Cheers. So, more about these cards this weekend of this full moon that Spirit wants to tell us about it. So, some wisdom here. Need not be weary, my beloved, because we have a new romantic cycle beginning, okay, with this new moon in Aries or Libra Moonology, okay? So even though the violet flame, there is a flame igniting, and that violet flame actually indicates being grounded amongst the chaos, learning to find more, learning to stay rooted and centered. And I'm even hearing, because of having such a strong spiritual practice, something that helps keep you and your mind and your heart in alignment with source energy, with the gracious, omnipresent, divine, G-O-D, God, Jah, Allah, divine, however you want to call it. The violet flame indicates, yes, Maui, you say, ooh la la, is true. Because the violet flame indicates that when there is that divine love that it ignites and sparks within you, that I'm hearing it's going to disrupt the system. What system? The system that kept you safe for so long. Especially if this is a new romantic cycle, and it's a cycle that might be new for your nervous system. I'm trying to get this focus here so you can read it. I don't know if it's backwards or not. I think it is. Okay. But the scales are balancing with Libra. Libra also ruled by Venus, okay? This is about quality relationships, quality partnerships, finally balanced, equally balanced is what I'm hearing. Partnerships, equally yoked. I'm hearing equal reciprocity, equal give and receive, offer and receive, give and take, you know? You hear what I'm saying? That's what I'm hearing. But in order for that, you have to balance, you have to rebalance. Because a new romantic cycle equals new emotions, which equal new nervous system that needs to recalibrate and needs to integrate. And if you're used to Chiron woundedness in your heart chakra, in your, Venus, or in your personal self, or in your sovereignty, or in your relationships, if you've been wounded in love, then you're going to need to trust. You're going to need to remember that flame within that will not be, okay, not remember, I'm hearing. You need to remember / tap into the flame, because that romantic cycle will ignite all of the fear that kept you safe in the past. In the past, we have been burned. And so it's very easy to put our walls up twice as high, right? Once burned, twice shy, is what they say. And so in this moment of this new love and the surrender to this new romantic cycle, we are really being asked to let go of the fear, the pride, the ego, the shame, the doubt that wants to latch and leech on to this new romantic cycle to protect us from being hurt. But we are being asked to surrender in this full moon, okay? We're being asked to trust that your body is recalibrating to love, not fear. Because in the past, our wounding asked us to hide. It asked us to fight to be right. And this full moon is saying release the need to be right. It says when you believe something, you assume that you're right. And you may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. Let go of the need to be right. If you want this new romantic cycle to flourish, not just begin. If you want it to begin, if you want it to flourish, if you want it to thrive, if you want it to last, it can't just be based on an initial spark, an initial flame. You have to stoke the flame in order for the fire to continue, right? You can't just look at the fire all night and expect it to keep burning. You have to blow on it. You got to go get more sticks. You got to throw more leaves and paper. You got to make sure that flame, that fire is staying alive if you want to stay warm and eat your food in the middle of winter. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your relationships in this new love and love within yourself. And as you ignite love within your own self, and as you are learning to and calibrating your frequency and your nervous system to be able to receive this love, this divine love, this conscious, beautiful, divine love directly from Source, you have to also be willing to work with Source. You got to meet Source where Source is at. And you got to say, you know what, Source, you're right. I got to also stoke this flame. I got to also do my part to make sure that I don't lose touch, so that I don't accidentally put this fire out with my fears, right? With my ego, with my pride, with my doubts or guilts or shame. Okay, that's what the violet flame is about. And I took this out because Izzy Ivy keeps telling me to talk about the violet flame as if, because she wrote about it. This beautiful artist, Izzy Ivy, the artist of the Beyond Lemuria Oracles, wrote about the violet flame, painted this violet flame beautifully, and she explains it as your psychic toolkit, recentering practices, deepening your energetic awareness, clearing your aura, healthy energetic boundaries, protection, removing trauma from your field. Okay, now I know why she wanted me to read this. Maintaining a high vibration and rebalancing. Listen to this. Rebalancing after times of raised frequency. Okay? A new romantic cycle begins, aka your heart has been activated. Your heart chakra was activated. The frequencies of love were risen in your body's vibrational circuit. And thus, now we are needing to rebalance after those times, right? When you are falling in love, when you are in love, when you are loving somebody, when you are enjoying the company of someone, and you're like, oh, I finally met someone that I love, that meets me, that I meet, and we're excited. That ignition, that excitement is wonderful. We want to milk that as much as possible. But what happens, especially if we're wounded in these areas of love, when we have believed in when we have believed false agreements around love, or around being able to trust love, or around our worthiness for love, or deservingness of love, we then end up sabotaging this beautiful romantic cycle of love because we have a hard time rebalancing our frequency, calibrating our frequency, integrating this new high frequency in our life, because we automatically start saying, this is too good to be true. I can't trust this person. I'm going to get hurt. Walls, done. And then we run, right? And right now, yes, Maui, Kundalini is activating so luminous right now. Absolutely, because we are in this final weeks of the year of the snake. We have been shedding all of the old, false, outdated versions of ourselves for the last year. And now as we close out this year of the wood snake, as we continue to rub off the last bit of that skin that the snake has to rub off, right? It's going to be a little uncomfortable because we're rubbing off what is the final debris. We're surrendering. We're releasing these needs of being right, of control, of defending. And I'm hearing Deepak Chopra say, are you defending the truth? The truth needs no defense. Izzy Ivy wants me to read this bit before I wrap up, but I do have some tarot cards that came through. I want to talk about the Two of Swords and the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. But she says, as we deepen our spiritual path, step out of the illusory constructs and become self-realized, empowering beings. Hold on, let me say that again. As we deepen our spiritual path, step out of illusory constructs and become self-realized, empowering beings, life may present us with more opportunities to grow than before. What? When we are becoming more our true divine self, life will come at us. Gonna life some more. There are going to be distractions and challenges. Why? Because when divine, when God, when Jah, yes, has a beautiful chosen divine love that has been heaven sent, God created, yes, there was going to be an opposing force. That is the law of physics, that there is equal and opposite opposing force, or opposing force to all energy, right? You can call it the devil, whatever you want to call it. But when there is a threat to the devil, if you want to call it that way, then yes, there will be distractions. But also when there's high vibration, there's going to be an opposing vibration. And we can choose to be pulled back down into that opposing vibration, because that is what is familiar, because that is what we were taught to be safe, because that's what we had to do to be safe at times in our past. Or we can choose to rise and go higher. We can choose to go above. We can choose a different path, even if it goes against all hairs on our body, because it is unfamiliar. I just learned the other day, and it hit like home, that our brain is not wired to keep us safe or to keep us happy, okay? Our brain is wired to keep us alive, whatever that means, okay? And also, when we are so used to something, it becomes familiar. And our brain will choose familiarity over healthy. Every time. It will keep you suffering. It will keep you in depression. It will keep you in sadness. It will keep you in trauma. It will keep you in hell, because it's familiar. So you are in a space right now, collective, where you are shedding all that is familiar but has been unhealthy to your like actual thriving as a human being, to expand and live in ecstatic bliss because of the familiarity. Yes, Maui, that's why we live from the heart in every moment. That's why it's so important. That's why Izzy Ivy says this. That's why Izzy Ivy is really making sure I bring this up with this violet flame, so we really understand what this violet flame means. Because I wrote a song about it last year during this purging. Was it last year or the year before? During my purging journey, my purification journey, my burning away from all that is false journey. And that song, Spirit says, sing it, girl, always, says, I am aligning with my highest timeline, okay? I am allowing conscious love to align fully with my soul. I expect the best. I accept the rest. I live out loud. I love out loud. I laugh out loud. Fully, freely, deeply. Unapologetically and unafraid. Hey, I am the violet flame. I know that's right. Okay, sing with me, y'all. I sing this song every time this card comes out, because this is what reminds me that I am aligning with my highest timeline. I am allowing conscious love to align fully with my soul. I am expecting the best, and I accept the rest. I live out loud, love out loud, laugh out loud, fully, freely, deeply, unapologetically, and unafraid. That is my goal, because I am the violet flame. That is my sensitivity. Izzy Ivy says, your sensitivity. I said, that's my sensitivity, only because I'm seeing this word. Your sensitivity will be heightened. So it may be harder to spend time in places with frantic activity. You may feel disoriented, have emotional ups and downs, wow, and even physical symptoms. Y'all, this is exactly why Spirit said read this right now, because I just said this at the beginning of this convo, and this is exactly where we're at in the collective. Thank you, Spirit. Daily practices for recentering will allow you to drop into yourself and be present and still, away from busy mind chatter and distractions. When we explore our innate healing ability, we may experience our expanding consciousness as deeply blissful and illuminating. Our glimpses of higher awareness can also be followed by periods of intensity as we return to normal. That's what's happening right now. We had a spike in this beautiful divine love in our heart chakras, our high heart chakras. Divine love has activated us, and now we are aligning with our highest timeline and allowing conscious love to align fully with our soul. But in the midst, we need to, and here's a bird that just landed right on my patio outside my window. We need to tap in and know that our ancestors, 2 of them now, our ancestors, our angels are here with us, helping us stay centered and grounded, helping us recalibrate and integrate all of this beautiful high vibe frequency coming into our human body, which is also eliminating all that density, low carbon density of fear and shame and guilt and all that, hate and all that. All of that is releasing, which is causing us to feel sick because we are purging. Literally, you have to feel it to heal it. And what happens is, in the midst of healing, we feel it and we don't like the feeling, so we stuff it back down until it comes back up. And then we stuff it back down. So we're being asked to surrender to what is coming up right now, because it needs to be felt to be released. It needs to be felt to be released in order to be transformed. Does this make sense? I hope. Please let me know. Hit that like button if it do. And if you're not already, you know, holla at your girl. Be a part of my vibe tribe. I always appreciate it. My mission here is to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine for the soul of mankind through conscious love. So if that's where you at, join your girl. I appreciate it. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to move on because we have some choices. And for the sake of time, I don't want to take up too much of your precious time, but we have the 2 of Swords and the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The 2 of Swords that wanted to come out for this overall energy for this weekend. This is about choosing, deciding between faith and sight. This is about walking by faith and not by sight. Trusting that the unseen is still just as much real. You have, what is it? Faith is believing it into fruition, right? You believe it until you see it. That's what this King of Pentacles is saying. You look at that heart chakra, activate it. This King of Crystals and the Starchild Akashic Tarot says, I am going to believe and follow what my heart tells me. Just like we were talking about earlier. I'm going to follow and believe what my heart tells me until the Pentacles, which is all earth, right? Until the fruition comes into. I will trust and believe and follow my heart. And I will believe that so hard that it has no other choice but to. The universe has no other choice but to conspire to my belief, to my trust, to my goal. And I'm not hearing goal. The goal, it's not a goal. That's not a goal. Spirit corrects. It's a belief. Your heart is transforming. Your life is transforming because your heart has been activated by divine love. And now you are believing in this love. You are calibrating and choosing love over fear. You are choosing to believe in love. And this can be a love relationship. It doesn't have to be an actual external partnership. This could be love for creating your life of your dreams, building a career, your abundance, getting your pentacles, your bag, your shmoney. Something that is also heart driven, purpose driven. When you follow your bliss, everything will follow in line. When you believe when you believe it so hard, it will come into fruition. This King of Pentacles. Also, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. masculine energy that we all carry within ourselves, this king, that is of bringing it into fruition. This is a balanced king. You know why? And the King of Pentacles is the final king in the tarot because he has gone through it all. That's why he can sit here and say, I transform my life. Because the King of Pentacles of crystals said, I learned how to get through the cups of emotions, the swords of the mental blockages, the, what else is there? What am I missing? The wands of passion. I've learned how to, I'm hearing manage and master all of that within me. My emotions, my fears, my mind, my mental, my passion, my heart. And now that is bringing me into fruition. That is bringing into, I'm now able to bring all of that, mold my life as I please because I have mastered my own internal, I'm hearing energy, my own internal confidence. And I'm hearing Spirit tell me one time, you don't have to master your crafts. You just need to master your confidence. So somebody else might need to hear that too. The confidence in what it is that you love. The confidence in what it is that you choose for yourself, for your highest and greatest good, for your heart and your health. Nobody else can choose it for you. You've gone through it all, divine masculine, divine whoever. Now you're just on the other side, building, receiving, and accepting. Now you're seeing it all come in, trickling in one at a time. And now you're calibrating because everything you've prayed for, built, asked, cried, blood, sweat, tears you built into divine masculine. This is a message for divine masculine because that's where Spirit wants to take this. Is now coming into fruition. You're now actually seeing the growth, the plants, right? The seeds are now sprouting out of the ground and you need to recalibrate because you're like, I've been praying for this and now it's here. Now I need to, I got to lock in. I got to get ready. I got to prepare. I've been asking for this heart to be activated by divine love and now it's here. Now I got to show up. And what does Lizzo say? Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't let that be you, divine masculine. Spirit is saying you asked and you shall receive. Now it's time to show up. Don't drop this ball. That's what I'm hearing. No pressure. You got this. But realize the power of your word. What you speak right now is bringing into fruition. What you speak will come into truth. What you speak is planting those seeds. Didn't I say that you are finally seeing, finally sprout? Your power is, your word is what Don Miguel Ruiz says. Your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God, the gracious, omnipresent, divine. So, the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. And let go of all the self-judgment and blame. That's what we're doing this evening. That's what we're doing this final full moon in Leo. We are surrendering. We are letting go. We are releasing all needs to be right, all needs to defend our ego, all needs to defend our pride, all needs to blame ourselves or judge ourselves. We are releasing it all because nothing is yet set in stone and luck is on your side. Okay? So look at the bigger picture, my beloved. You and your loved ones are safe. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Irie, and be in faith. And here's my cat cow, Mr. Grandma Tony Popsicle, who entered the chat to say hello. That is the spirit of someone's grandmother, my grandmother always, and somebody else's grandmother to say hello. Just as the spirit of Don Miguel Ruiz wanted to fly out, with this card to explain why the four agreements is so important and why I use the four agreements as a literal spiritual Bible of sorts, along with A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle and other things. But I won't get into that right now. Don Miguel Ruiz said, I want to come out here just so I can let you know, okay, where you might want to read this book. That might be the telling for this might be the book for you to read this year. Don Miguel Ruiz is a Nagual from the Eagle Knight lineage, and he's dedicated to sharing the knowledge and teachings of the ancient Toltec, which is what this four agreements comes from. So if you want to go check more out of Don Miguel Ruiz, that is my little shameless plug for him. He doesn't sponsor any of this, but hey, he wrote this book and he helped enlighten and ignite a lot in myself, so I give him props and credits where credit is due. He's a beautiful soul. He also wrote a letter to this collective. I've written these cards to offer you a simple yet powerful code of conduct for attaining personal freedom and true happiness, he says. Dear friends, he did begin the note. 12 corresponding cards for each of the agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. These cards will help transform your life as you recover the awareness and wisdom of your authentic self. Tinks. With love, Don Miguel Ruiz. So, look at this. I'm trying to close out, and the Moonology card is speaking for this full moon. What do you need to release tonight? That is your journal question. And if you'd like to join Indigo, Zai, and I tonight as we do our full moon ritual, you don't have to actually join us, but if you'd like to participate in your own space as we do, I encourage you to write out what you need to release right now for the last time, to burn it, and as that fire Leo asks, and to release it so it can transmute and alchemize into love. Communicate what you need. Communicate what you feel. Communication is key for a win-win outcome in the forecast. With this full moon in Libra, which we love, okay? So work through your fears. Let those emotions overflow. Your cup overfloweth with divine love. Let Source pour its love into you and hold you and take care of you, nurture you. And your emotions as they are raw, as they are real, as they are releasing and purging. Take a bath. Drink water. You are unfurling back to love. I will end it on this note because, I can't make it up, and this has been beautiful. You are unfurling back to love, beloveds. So, I hope that this helped. I hope that this gave you some, just some encouragement to not give up, because I know it gave me some encouragement. And I definitely needed these wisdoms as well, because I'm still a human. I still be on this journey with y'all, okay? So, until next time, God willing, I'll see you in the next moon. Peace and love. Namaste. Bye.